So hello and welcome. This is Erica Glessing, and you are listening today to a fabulous author in the brand new book, The Power of Releasing Judgment. And I have with me today Alex Vogel. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, Erica. It's great to be here.
Yeah, what part of the country are you in right now?
I'm in Arizona.
Oh, is it nice there or cold?
It's very nice now.
Is
now before the heat.
It's before the heat and after the burr. Yeah, it's really gray where I am in California today, so it's kind of rainy. And last night we had a major rainbow.
Oh, how wonderful.
And then it was a double. So it was like really dark and moody and cloudy, pouring rain, and then at 5 p.m., a huge double rainbow. Huge. And everybody stopped. It was really fun. My daughter and I were out getting supplies for a trip, and everybody stopped and looked at the rainbow, and that was super cool. So,
how marvelous.
And rain here is a little funny too. Kids are like, it's raining. And they're like 12, they've seen rain like 4 times, you know.
It's like that here.
Yeah.
You go outside and dance in it.
Exactly. So let's just kind of jump in. Tell us the name of your chapter, and then tell us just a little bit about like the stories that you were sharing in there.
Sure. So it's How Do I Judge Me? Let Me Count the Ways. Because we play this wonderful game called Judgment, and judging me is like what most of us are so good at. Clever.
Advanced degrees.
Yeah, exactly. Because I have a PhD in judging me. Wow. I shared a story about something that took place between me and my roommate and how I spun out in judgment about it, and then just talked about the looping that happens with judgment, is that we tend to run these loops, just these stories that we just keep adding to and keep creating and keep using more judgments to hold the judgments in place.
Yeah. You know, I got this really funny image of my first TV station that I worked for. You'd go in, and the carpet was pretty old, and it was actually covered by duct tape. So when you go in the entrance of the TV station, it was this creepy old building. And then the carpet was so threadbare, and the station was so impoverished. It was a small public television station, that the carpet actually had duct tape holding it down. And I remember thinking about, like, how crappy am I that I work for a place with duct tape on the floor? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just rolled that, and I rolled that. And so when you think about judgment, you don't think of something as stupid as that. Like, you don't think, I don't mean stupid, right? You don't think of something as small as that. But how did that thought work to keep me small? It's like, how did that, right? It was like, how did that, putting myself in an environment that was, you know, I mean, it was still fun. We still hung out with celebrities, and we still were on TV all the time. So, I mean, it was really fun too. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I would loop things, and I would get stuck in that thought of not being good enough to work for, like, a big TV station or something like that, you know? It was weird. It was like, I could just have vivid when you talk about that, that's the vivid memory that showed up.
Yeah, we just keep telling the story and building on the story and holding the story in place and keeping the story in place and keeping ourselves stuck with the story. And we just loop it and loop it and loop it. And we often do so without even being consciously aware that that's what we're doing.
Oh, right. I mean, I had no idea at that time that I was holding myself there by judging the carpet.
A small thing, but just a piece of the story.
Yeah, yeah. So if I start noticing this in myself, that I'm looping, that I'm like, one of the other things I had lately was I talked to someone who every time it came up that she was born wealthy, she would quickly tell me stories. And I just saw her yesterday. She does my hair. She would quickly tell me stories of how she lost it all. It was like she couldn't stand in her generations of that. It was so fascinating. And I was like, and I said, well, every time you're telling me poverty stories, you know, it can work like that too, right? Like for your life situations.
Absolutely. It just keeps creating more and more of the same.
So then what do we do next?
So the first thing you have to do is acknowledge it and like be aware of it. And once you spot it, and you know, as like I spelled out in the chapter, a lot of the ways that we can create judgment. And once you can see it, then you can begin to dismantle it and actually see it for what it is and start to change it.
Mm. And then what changes in your life once you change it?
Everything. That's when you get really free. You can let go of the judgment of yourself and others, then there's real freedom to create and to just create a completely different story. You can create what you want to create instead of looping in the same continuous story.
So I was, you know, sometimes in these summit interviews, I let someone, what I say, like mess with me, because sometimes I use them for free counseling. And Happiness Telesummit for years has done that. It's been so much fun. It's like 40 or 50 hours of happiness. And I get to play with all the people that are teaching it. And so sometimes I let them play with me. And so I was sort of getting a thought that might be fun. So do you want to help me through something that's been sticking me?
Sure.
Right here in front of God and everybody.
For sure.
Yeah. So one of the things that sticks me, being born into like a very athletic family, I'm a rounder person than my family. So my family was all pretty straight. Of course, two of them were men, my dad and my brother. But my mom was also very long and very slender. And I was born and I started getting breasts. And it was like I immediately was sort of like that. I just became so wrong. Like I was so wrong. Like I judged myself as so wrong. And I find myself now, even though I'm like totally happy with so much of everything in my life, I still find myself going back into the self-hatred around my body. And I don't quite know, like, okay, then I'm aware of it. And then I say, okay, interesting point of view. I have that point of view that like, there's something wrong with like my ladies. Right? Interesting point of view. I have that point of view. And I've done that, but maybe I just haven't done it enough. Or what other things do you recommend for me to help me through this sort of like, can you feel the stickiness? Because even when I say it, I can actually feel the stickiness. When I say it, it actually almost has like a tangible, when I'm not personalizing, I'm doing it for the interview and I'm going to play with the energy of this, I can feel it sticky.
So do you have conversations with your body, or are well, I'm sure you have conversations with your body, but are the conversations with the body, are they, oh my gosh, you're awesome, I love you just the way you are? Or is
not really, not so much.
So
I don't know if I ever said that to it.
So the conversations that you have with your body are more like, this is too big, this is too small, this is too saggy, this is too...
It's more like I have some pains in like my knees, and so I played 20 years of basketball. I used to play 2 and 3 hours a day, and I got this scarring stuff in my knees that I haven't. So it's the conversations I have with my body is more like, oh, there's a lot of pain in it.
So what is your body trying to make you aware of? what have you asked your body, can I change this? What would it take to give me ease with this?
Wow, I just got like new knees. Like I should have rebuilt knees. I mean, because of technology in knees, I had a dog that got rebuilt knees, and he lived for like 7 more years. Like he was a happy running dog for 7 more years after they rebuilt both of his knees had to be rebuilt. And if I got new knees, because I mean, doesn't that sound crazy? But that actually feels like ease to me. Like when I hear new knees, even when I hear that, so there's so much pain in my body. And actually, so like my body size isn't really the thing.
No, you really need to have a conversation with our bodies. We tend to just say, this is too fat, this is too saggy, this is too wrinkly, but we don't very often have a conversation with what's required to change this? What can I do different to give ease to this? Body, are you willing to change this? And even ask your body, about body, can we change the pain in the knees? And I
have pains in other places. I think I've not wanted to ask my body because of all the pains I have. Because I see myself as a healthy person. Like I've somehow made that totally vital. But I'm also like I judge me as superior bitch, superior to the family because I haven't been sick. Like that's a big thing for me. I'm not ever. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So are you judging yourself as wrong for having pain?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So would you be willing to give that up?
Gosh, it's like I'm okay. Ask it again. Ask me again if I'm willing.
So would you be willing to give up judging you for being wrong for having pain in your body? What if that was just your body trying to make you aware of something?
Yes, I'm willing.
Yeah. So would you be willing to have conversation with your body and ask your body, can we change this? How can we change it? Can we change it now?
Yeah, because I was way more, up till like 2 years ago, I was way more physical. Way more active. And then as the pain came in, I moved less and less.
Yeah. Moving less. What if you ask your body, what movement would you like? What movement would be good for you?
And then, so it really wasn't about the size at all.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I mean, really, I don't care that much. I'm not that attached. That actually wasn't. It was more like if I open the floodgates of listening, what other pains will it tell me about? And then how much more judgment of me being wrong for having pain or not being able to heal it on my own. I also got that. Like I like to do. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Pain is most often resistance in the body, but it can also be awareness of the earth. And so the earth sometimes requires our facilitation. So you might ask, Earth, what do you require of me today, and how can I contribute to you? Our body always whispers to us very softly, but we usually just ignore it. We fluff it off and whatever, but it will get our attention one way or another.
That's hysterical. It just cracks me up because there's this other hockey mom, and she had this infection in her side, in her hip, and she was complaining about the pain of it. And I'm a medical intuitive. And so I said, do you want me to give you any information about it? And she's like, blah, blah, blah. We talked. And she was kind of interested. But she was kind of half interested, half not. Like she kept saying she wanted to hear me, but then she kept it was very not clear if she totally wanted the information. So then she said, I never get infections. It can't be an infection. And it was this thing that keeps pussing up that they have to keep undoing the pus. Well, really, that's cookie cutter infection. I mean, that's not, any doctor could say, you're pussing out, and pus is an infection. It's a sign. So I saw her stuff totally clearly, and she wasn't willing to accept that she had an infection because she goes, I don't get infections. Right? Yeah. And I'm hearing you, like, as I'm listening to her say that, I'm saying, I don't get hurt. Like, I've never broken anything. I never go to the hospital. These are the things I say about me.
Right.
And
so
yet,
as you're talking to you and you're denying it, it's just going to talk louder and louder. And, hey, pay attention to me.
So that's how judgment can stop the flow of healing.
Absolutely.
Because then I'm not seeing clearly the messages I'm getting. And then I'm not asking. It's almost like I don't want to give it. I also find myself like resenting the time I have to stop to eat. Like I have so much going on that I'm creating and so much going on that I'm doing. Like I'll sit there and I'll eat 5 bites of salad right before my next video interview. Like I'm about to go on a TV interview and like my last one ends right before the next one. And then I don't want to give myself like, I don't want to, do you see that? What is that?
Yeah. So wouldn't it be much kinder if you gave your, you ask your body, when would you like to eat? What would you like to eat? And actually gave it time instead of forcing it to grab a little here, grab a little there. Is your body okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, it's fun doing this with my kids. Like it's easy for me for everyone else but me, Like I do say to my daughter, she's chosen not to eat meat, and I'll be like, okay, cool. What would you like to eat? What would be good? What does your body want? And then I'll ask her, what does your body want? And then my other daughter's an athlete, and so I'll say to her, I want you to talk to your knees and your feet when you're playing. And if you're, and I say this to my son too, who plays hockey, listen to your feet. What are they telling you? Because if they hurt, we might need to switch your skates or something. You shouldn't have your feet hurt what's going on. So with them, I'm so cool. I like totally pay attention and try to teach them to listen to their bodies.
We're so good at that. My friend, I'll call her and I go, oh, I have the worst headache. Oh, did you rub your hand? Did you try this? Did you expand out? Did you flip one molecule? I'm like, no. I called you. And you call me and say, oh, this hurts. This is this and this and this. And did you do this? Did you do that? Nope, I didn't do any of those. We're so great at doing it for others, and we're so not good at doing it for ourselves.
Yeah, that is so amazing. I love it. And as I said to you when I read your chapter, I really liked how practical it was. Like, I really liked how it was like, I'm irritated because my roommate did this. And then instead of just looking at it and then maybe just chatting and having a conversation, I won't tell the whole story, but it's like, instead of just saying, hey, here's a conversation, and then I can not loop it.
Yeah. No, I'd much rather do the loop for a month.
Yeah, I mean, how many years would I rather say my knees hurt and I can't walk than get my knees fixed?
Yeah. We're so clever.
Oh no, what's saying my knees don't work doing for me,
The thing is, sometimes we think that we're being kind. Like, well, I won't say anything. I'll be kind. I'll buck up. I'll be strong. I won't pay attention to my hurting knees.
Right.
And we have
that I'll be strong. I won't.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah. I won't whine. I won't complain. I'll just be strong and keep trudging through, and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clever us.
That's so fun. Thank you so much, Alex. I just love that. You're so much fun to play with. And what else would you like to share with our audience who's listening today?
Well, you mentioned that, I did that chapter really practically, and what I hope to give people was an insight of where and how you create judgment, so that they would start to take a look at the places that they're creating judgment in their lives and be able to dismantle them and not choose that. And for God's sake, when you find yourself doing it, don't make yourself wrong. Just go, wow, I did that. Cool. Let me change that.
Right. So now that I have awareness that my knees are asking for more attention, don't beat myself up for not listening to them for so many years.
Yeah.
It's like that's going to be counterproductive, because that's just going to lock it in worse and keep it there longer. Yeah.
Instead, pat yourself on the back and go, cool, I can see that now. Now I can change it.
Yeah. Because I kept getting this image of my grandma whose her ankles went, and so she ended up in a wheelchair. But I mean, at like age 94. And if I keep going without paying attention to my knees, it's more like 64. Right? I mean, that's just kind of like, if I keep on the trajectory of not tending them.
I mean, they're going to keep screaming louder and louder until you get what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, right, exactly. Because the influence it had was then I didn't move, but that's not my natural propensity, because I love sports. So I love being super active. So that took away something I totally love. That was the price I was paying. Yeah. How much fun can we have? Yeah. Awesome. Totally cool. Well, how can people reach you, and how can they get a hold of you? You're a fabulous facilitator. Thank you so much, Alex.
Well, thank you. I have a website, alexcadavravogel.com, and you can reach me there, or through the Access Consciousness site under Alex Vogel.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Mwah.
Thank you. Love you, Erica. I so appreciate the chance to do this.